بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وخاتم النبيين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بالإحسان إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Brothers and sisters, I'm Abdul-Lateef from Arabic Virtual Academy as well as Abdul-Lateef.com. I welcome you back today to another episode of Everyday Fiqh. And today, as promised, we're going to talk about the Sunan, or actually I should say some of the Sunan of the Ghusl. The last class we talked about the Fara'id, or the obligatory acts of the Ghusl. Today we're going to talk about some of its Sunan. Tayyib. Now, we're going to talk about 5 of them in general, or specifically. The first of them we're going to talk about is called At-Tasmiyah. At-Tasmiyah. And this is to make the Basmala, say Bismillah. It's called At-Tasmiyah. And this Tasmiyah is the Sunan in a lot of the acts of worship. To say Bismillah before you do a lot of things, when you eat and when you drink and when you make wudu, and a lot of acts of worship, you make this tasmiyah. The second of them, meaning the second of the sunan of the ghusl. Now, I'm not sure if we pointed out in the last episode that when we talk about the fara'id, this means these are things that are obligatory. Without these things that we talked about last time, those 3 things, inshallah you remember what they are. Without those, you have no ghusl. But these things here, these are the sunan. Meaning that without them, your ghusl is still valid. You've just left off a lot of reward for doing them. Do you understand? So, we said the first of these was a tasmiyah. So without it, your ghusl is still valid. But look at all of the barakah that you're leaving off by not simply making this tasmiyah. Then we talk about the issue of al-wudu al-kamil qabla. That you make a complete wudu before you do your ghusl. This as well as from the sunan acts of the ghusl. And we already talked about the ghusl and those things that are obligatory on you and those things that are from the sunan and things along these sorts. The thing is that if you make this complete wudu before you make the ghusl, then you have then you have completed and done one of the sunan for the ghusl. Tayyib. And inshallah ta'ala you'll be rewarded for it. The next of these things is imrar al-yad al-jasad. What do we mean by this? That it's not, you find some people, a lot of people I know that people talk about when you take a ghusl, just jumping in and jumping out, letting the water touch your body and coming out. Now we talked about last class that if you do get in and the water touches the whole of your body and all of the najasa is removed, then it counts. Obviously, with the niyyah first. But from the sunan of the ghusl is what? That you actually take your hands and you make sure that the water reaches every part of your body. You run your hands over your body, making sure that the water reaches everywhere. Tayyib. And this is some of the different madhahib or some of the different scholars, they call this ad-dalk. And it's the same general principle. When you let the water go over your body, you run your hand over your body, again making sure that the water reaches everywhere. under your armpits, everywhere. طيب. The next issue is that of, or that which we call al-mawala. And we talked about this again, yes, when we talked about the wudu. This means that when you make the ghusl, that you do everything one right after the other. That doesn't mean, just bang, 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 bang like that. But you do it to the point where there's not a big space in between this. You don't start making the ghusl, you start doing something, and you get out and you go do this, and you come back and do something else in the ghusl, and you get out and go do that, or you go do this, or you may get a phone call in the middle and stick your head out and talk with them. The ghusl is to be done as one action. Tayyib. One thing after another. Tayyib. Without a long breaks in between that make you have to say, okay, I'm leaving from my ghusl and I'm going to come back to it, or I've come back to it now to complete it. It should be one continuous act of worship. Bidnillahi ta'ala. This is also from the Sunan of the of the ghusl. The last of those things that we're going to talk about, and like we said, these are just some of the Sunan, but these are ones that we find it's important that we point out, is taqdeem al-yumna al-yusra. And this is that we do the right side before the left side. Now, we don't have to go real far with it. What do I mean when I say that? We don't have to say, okay, well, when it comes time to do my hand, I do my right side of my hand before my left side, and the right side of my face before my left side of my face. We're talking about those things that you have two of. You know, when you're going to wash off your body or do your body, you do the right side and then the left side. Or you do your right arm and then your left arm. Or your right foot and then your right leg and then your left leg. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do, when you do your nose, the right side of your nose and the left side of your nose. Do you understand? So when we say doing the right side and the left side, we're talking about those things that you actually have two parts of. Either two of, generally, or sometimes you can go and say, you'll find some people that say, okay, if you have two parts of something. But it's not every individual thing. It's not, okay, you do your right ear and then your left ear. Do you understand what I'm saying? You do your head. And again, just to let you know, all of these things that we're talking about now are from the Sunnah. So if you do your left and then your right, you haven't done the Sunnah. But no one can come and tell you, okay, well listen, your ghusl is invalid. Do you understand? Because this is a Sunnah act. And this is why it's so important to pay attention. Because everything that we do, certain things that we do or we leave off, either make or break these types of ibadah. Certain things that we do or leave off either add reward or we just don't get any extra reward for it. And this is why it's important for us to know the hukm or the ruling for each individual aspect of our ibadah. So we know, okay, if this got left off, does it count or doesn't it? Do you understand? And inshallah ta'ala, we'll leave it with those 5 things for right now. And just as a recap, we talked about the tasmiyah, or the saying of the basmalah. We talked about the wudu, qabla, or before making the ghusl. We talked about the rubbing of the hand over the body. We talked about al-mawala, doing things one after the other. And we talked about making the taqdeem, or doing the right side before the left side. And inshallah ta'ala, I'm sure without a shadow of a doubt, each one of you can name 2 to 3 other things that are from the Sunan of the Salah. Inshallah ta'ala, I'd like to see, who from amongst you can. And inshallah ta'ala, leave them in the comments below. And as usual, if you found these or this particular video beneficial, then Like it and share it with your friends and your family, and hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, we can all become a little more educated about these aspects of our religion. Jazakumullahu khair wa barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.